Hey everyone, Glenn Sanford here, founder and CEO of eXp Realty, and this is the Expansion Podcast where we talk about personal and professional growth here at eXp Realty. And today I'm excited to welcome Andrea Crouch. She is a five-time ICON agent out of Phoenix, Arizona. Andrea, how are you?
I'm great, Glenn. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor.
Oh no, it's an honor having you on as well. Obviously you've been in real estate a while. I've been in longer. I got in 2002, but I think you've got about 17 years under your belt. But what's your background? How did you get into real estate? Where have you been? What's your background before real estate? All that good stuff.
Sure. The first home that we purchased was a FISBO, and then the second home we had an agent, and it was not a great experience. And I just thought this needs to be better. No one should go through this, selling their most valuable asset and purchasing another more improved asset. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be, oh, welcome to your home, the keys under the mat. Like, it should be a celebration. So I just had that tucked in my mind. And let's see, I was home with my kids for 10 years, and my husband said, you need to do something. So he suggested getting my real estate license. He was in commercial property management at the time. And I said, well, yeah, I could do that. I could make things better for, I'm going to help the world, right? I'm going to solve real estate for everybody and make it better. So I got my license and then just started helping friends and family. And that was 2006. So got really busy really quickly. And then he decided to join me, leave his, paycheck job that was very reliable to get a paycheck every 2 weeks.
Right?
And then took that leap of faith, and then the market tanked. So we learned about short sales and foreclosures. That's actually when we met Kevin and Fred, when they were the flip-flop guys, the short sale guys. And so just learned to help people through the hardest time in their lives. And they then referred us to friends and family. And our business just has grown, just taking care of people one client at a time and trying to make that experience as pleasant. At that time, it was a tough time for people. So making that as pleasant as possible, being that trusted advisor, and then it's just grown over the years. So here we are.
Well, excellent. So, obviously, it sounds like you went through a few different markets, and in that shorts, obviously, who knows? We may end up in a market where there's some distressed property at some point. Higher interest rates certainly could contribute, and some other things. But uh, was that did you end up really getting, was that a solid part of your business, the short sale slash foreclosure market, or when?
It was, yes, but not necessarily like, we didn't have internet leads or anything like that. It really was just by relationship and just the people that we knew. So, really working those relationships, staying very involved in our community, and using that skill to, I learned so much so quickly at that time. I feel like starting in that tough market was actually a great start because I was hearing other realtors that had been doing it for 30 years, and oh, this is so hard. Well, it's all I knew. So I didn't know. I just kind of put the blinders on and said, this is what I got. Work hard and take care of people. And that's what we did. So
Oh, excellent. And I think you've been a five-time icon at EXP. How many years have you been at EXP? Looks like about 5 years.
about 5 years. Yes. And funny story there. So
Okay, yeah.
we were already going to move brokerages, and I do work with my husband Bryan. We have a small team,
Hmm.
and we were going to move, and had already decided a local brokerage that we were going to move to. And we were at a discount brokerage here. And I'm a very numbers person, so I had a spreadsheet of if we do the same production, this is what we'll net at the end, right? And
Right.
then I saw the day that we were going to move brokerages, I saw Kevin and Fred's post on Facebook that they were moving. And I know success leaves clues. So we
Right.
reached out to them and said, wait, what's going on? Because they were so involved in their previous brokerage and had, multiple locations. So I knew there had to be a strong reason, and reached out to them and said, what's making this move, chatted with them and said, okay, I'm in. Like, they painted broad strokes. So we were like, oh, we're all in. Well, then fast forward, I get a call. I probably should have listened a little closer to some of the things they said. But I got a call saying, we want to interview you about being an icon. And I'm like, what's an icon? So I had no
Right.
idea. And so that little net at the bottom of my spreadsheet where we were going to make the same, we made way more because you have this amazing system of getting your money back when you're a producing agent. What a concept. So that was a fabulous surprise. And I tease Kevin and Fred now, like, you
So
might
you're
want
saying
to
we don't really
start with
need the
that.
ICON award? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no. I love that. That's quite a perk. But I tell them they should lead with that. Not, he said he told me. I don't think he did, but whatever. That's a whole other thing. So,
Okay.
yes. But
Well,
we just
they
did
have
our job.
they have a tendency. That's awesome. No, so that was kind of the sort of selection process of EXP. Is Kevin and Fred were there. They gave you some broad brushstrokes. I'm
Yeah.
in, and then figured it out after as you came in. So now you're I think you said very much a relationship based agent. Do you do any sort of external or inbound lead gen?
We really don't. We just stay involved in our community, actively involved in the things that we're just interested in, taking care of people, talking to people wherever we go, just being out there, being visible, and yeah, that's that's how it's worked for us. We're not, which is what I loved about the first time we went to EXPCon in 2019, just seeing how many different ways people run their business. Because when you're not at EXP, everybody is so, like, everything's a secret about how they run their business, and you don't get to ask questions and find things out. And at EXPCon, it was like an open book. Everybody's like, I do expireds, I do, whatever might work for
Right.
them. So just learning different ways of doing business. Some resonated, some didn't, but you take what works for you and make the business work. That's the fabulous thing about real estate, is it can work for whatever may resonate with you.
Right. And what are maybe a couple things that are top of mind that you took away from some of these masterminding with other icon agents?
Yeah, so, oh my goodness, so many things. And we just went to the most recent EXPCon, and it was also fantastic. But I think, like, they're at the Icon breakfast, just hearing how people, again, just run their business so differently. Some are a lot of internet lead generation. They have ISAs. We're kind of considering incorporating that just to get more appointments and build more business for our agents on the team. So just ideas like that of different ways to bring incoming calls, incoming business, and because we're very, I think, outward focused, just taking care of people, and that's great. But we want to help more people. So
Right. Um, so I had a question there. The So when you think about like managing the people in your database, what are you using from a CRM perspective?
yes, we have used Referral Maker with Buffini and Company since the beginning.
Buffini? Yep.
Yeah, so we're looking at transitioning now to KV Core because it's not so great with the team structure. It's worked for us, so it's one of those, like, we use it very diligently, super committed to it. But as our team has grown, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles we're looking for. And I know KV Core has all those bells and whistles, so we're definitely ready to make that jump.
Okay, excellent. So now, what does your team? What does your team look like?
Yeah, so we have my husband and I, and then 3 other agents, and then a client care coordinator, and another, she's full time, and a part time, we call her the WOW experience leader, and she handles all of our gifting and client parties and so forth. So there's 7 of
Okay,
us right
that's
now.
a cool name, a WOW experience leader. So they're going to definitely be involved in the CRM for sure.
Yes, yes, they know it better than I do.
Okay, yeah, and then are you primarily on the listing side or buyer side? Or is your team agents working buyers? You work with listings. How does that all sort of kind of work?
Yeah, I have such a passion for newer agents. I love helping them because, in real estate school, you don't learn how to get a client, you don't get how to take care of a client, you don't learn how to get another client when you want to eat again next month.
Hmm.
So my passion is just to train them in the right way, which is my way, to take care of clients.
Right.
And then, so they really are, they start out running with buyers. And then as they grow their own business, they're taking care of listings. Sometimes I'll partner with them on our listings, but we mainly handle the listings and they're taking care of the buyers. And as they grow their business, that develops into more 50-50, half and half listings and buyers. But
Okay. And would you say that your team overall is more buyer oriented or listing oriented?
mostly buyers, yeah. And I just always tell them it takes more for a seller to trust you with their listing. Buyers don't know what buyers don't know. So they're more willing to work with, a newer agent. And I think that's a great way to grow a business, is taking care of them. And then when they go to sell, help them with that. Um, but yeah, they're mostly focused on buyers.
Okay. Obviously, the industry's changed. You went through obviously went through 2008, 2009, 2010, and then we obviously had the little COVID scare. Now we're going through the highest interest rates in a quarter century or something like that in a fairly short period of time. How have you adapted your business, and how has it impacted you, if at all?
Sure. No, it definitely has impacted us. We had buyers that were, in our potential list and ready to go, and then came to a screeching halt there. So we have had to develop, shift in that way to focus more on listings because there simply hasn't been as many buyers. So just really making that shift in all of our marketing and all of our conversations, just keeping that focused on growing the listings, getting more market share, keeping that focus has helped us a lot this year. And not being bogged down, I hate to say that, but with buyers that they can't buy right now. Um,
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. And is there a particular message that sellers are like? I assume that sellers they, they don't sell because the agent calls and says you should sell now. It's more they've got some life event or something of that nature going on, or what is what's the general conversation with sellers? I mean, obviously, some of them have kind of the same issues that buyers have, in that they want to buy someplace else, and there's probably a disparity in interest rates of what they currently have versus what they're going to have to pay. How are conversations with sellers? How have they shifted from, say, 2020 or 2019?
well, I think the conversations are longer. So at that time, a couple years ago, it was, do you know anybody thinking about but, and they would say, yes, I want to buy a house. And now it's not that way. So it's more of those conversations of, how is life? How is your family? How is, what's going on with your vacation? Do you have any vacation plans? Things like that. Just having those general conversations, caring about people. And as they're telling us, we like to say a lot of times we know they're moving before they do. Like, oh, my mom is sick. She's going to have to move in with us. And I'm thinking, that house is too small for that. So you're going to need a bigger house. So things like that, just listening for those pain points of what might be coming. There's a lot here of older folks going into assisted living and things like that. So just those, like you said, the life events that cause people to move, either downsizing, upsizing, moving out of state. We've had a lot of people moving out of state, a lot of people moving here from Washington. Everybody thinks it's California, but
I
Washington.
don't know why when it's cold.
Yeah, we get a lot of Washington. So, yeah, actually, two people on our team are from Washington. So, um, yeah, but just listening, it's really just in the relationships, caring about the people and hearing those life events that could be causing a move and offering to help.
Well, one last question. Actually, I have two last questions, but two questions. But first one, everybody hears around the country about sort of the water situation in Arizona, and obviously Arizona, Nevada, California, that type of thing. Um, how is that how is that being embraced, or how do home buyers think about that? Are home sellers going, hey, I better sell before we run out of water? Is there any of that that sort of runs in the conversations with buyers and sellers?
Sure, yes, that does come up. um, and actually,
Okay.
I have talked with the City of Phoenix planning director. I think that's her title. And I think having the data to support where we really are compared to what the media likes to sensationalize is very helpful. And I encourage other agents to have that data. So we actually use less water in the city of Phoenix. So this is just Phoenix. We use less water now than we did in
Hmm.
1983. We use more water than we do now, just by the way that they're handling that and accommodating the increased population. Obviously, we have a lot more people here than we did in 1983. Um, and the city was growing like crazy at that time. So I think just having that data to support that. And yet, if clients are saying, we want to move because you're running out of water, okay, we'll help you with that. I'm not going to argue. If they want to sell, okay, I'll help them
Right.
sell. So
Yep.
I'm blonde, but I'm a little
Good
smarter
stuff.
than it looks.
Okay. Awesome. So, last question.
Yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice to an EXP agent, what would that be?
Oh, I think just diving into everything that you have created for us. There's so many systems and tools surrounding yourself with the people in EXP world that can walk you through, advise you, guide you in how to use the tools, how to increase your sales. There's so much training available. Just dive in and figure out what resonates with you, and you will absolutely have success. I mean, it's an incredible system you've created. And Trello, you taught me about Trello. I didn't even know Trello was a thing. And we use that for all of our checklists and everything. So listen to Glenn. Anything Glenn says, do that.
Okay.
And
Uh,
yeah,
I'm
and just use all the
I'm
systems.
big on Trello and mind maps. Those are my. In fact, I was actually building a little bit of a mind map during our conversation. So,
Hmm.
just keeping track of a little bit of the stuff we're talking about. So, thank you for
Okay.
that, because I think Trello is like the best free tool on the planet. So,
Yes, it's fantastic. So good. So thank you for telling me about it. And I almost beat you in the 5K at EXPCon. Not really. I was way behind you. But I ran with Glenn Sanford. I'm just saying.
okay, awesome. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for spending time with me today, with us, with the EXP community. Obviously, success leaves clues. You picked up some clues along the way. You've been leaving clues for others to
Mm,
follow along. And also make sure, maybe check out Andrea's Instagram page. I think it's
mm.
at the underscore crouch underscore group underscore AZ. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. And Andrea Crouch, my own personal one, but
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And Andrea Crouch. Awesome. And with that, thanks again. Until next time, take care,
Thank you,
everyone.
Glenn. Thank you so much.